So what state are you in other than the state of confusion right now?
Think
I'm
of
in the province of Quebec.
Problems of, so that is, but you're in Quebec, so Quebec, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I understand it's a bit, it's like Los Angeles. You can go from one side of Los Angeles to the other, and if you drive straight, you can get there in 8 hours. It's a
Yeah,
big
no, no,
city,
no, no. The province of Quebec is fucking huge.
oh yeah,
Trust me.
no, it's
huge.
ginormous. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
ginormous.
Yeah, it's very, very good. That's why you have those big lumberjacks to get through the
Yeah.
cold
Now,
weather. I got it.
So what do you want to know about Quebec City?
Well, I wanted to give you some credit to Quebec City. I just read that Quebec City has begun synchronizing traffic lights using Google Green Light AI system. And so basically, the model analyzes autonomized Google Maps driving patterns and suggests precise timing to tweak engineers so that you could get flowing traffic. I think that's amazing.
I'm just surprised. Listen, there's so many things that this government does backward that I'm actually shocked that they're doing this. I'm just going to give you an example. So we've got this huge issue with not having enough personal doctors, so family doctors. So right now, family doctors take on 3 patients an hour. So 20 minutes to see a patient. They got to, prep before, look at the files, see you, and then, before they move on to the next guy, you know, put into the computer what we've just all talked about, and they move on to the next one. So the province has decided that the solution is to force doctors to take on 10 clients an hour because, yeah, because they can't, for whatever reason, manage to bring in more doctors or get more doctors to the system. So instead of having 20 minutes to see my doctor, they're now
got
trying to tell us that,
six.
yeah, we're going to optimize performance and we're going to get them to do 10 an hour.
I feel like good.
Well, it's like a game show. It's like a game show, Guess what disease I have? You have 10 seconds. You're dead.
And my
But at
doctor is
least,
actually when I go see my doctor, I actually write notes for days before on my phone. And so he knows that when I'm going to see him and I get on my phone, he says, "Okay, Denis, tell me the highlights, and then I'll pick the order." And then we go down the list. And then I said, "Okay, so that's it for now. Okay, that's it for now." And then, like if there's anything urgent, then he'll say, "Okay, book another appointment in, 2 weeks or 10 days or whatever." But I'm really blessed with a really great family doctor. I've got all the specialists in line. One of the reasons why I'm actually not even considering moving away from here right now is because all my specialists are in line. It's all working out great, but the fucking government. Oh my.
Well, it's
Benny, I have a
it's it's
question for
just
you.
amazing. It's just amazing when the government of your country, and I'm including ours in the United States, when they get more involved and they throw up roadblocks and disincentives for money to be made and for doctors to want to become doctors.
Right.
Shockingly, there are less doctors and the healthcare system suffers. I
Well,
mean,
look at
this is
Nevada.
just,
Look at Nevada, for
well, look at the
example.
entire
Nevada,
United
there's a
States.
shortage of doctors.
This is why the ACA was one of the worst pieces of legislation ever passed in the United States of America. All it did, it had a couple of noble goals, and the rest of it was complete disincentives for people to become doctors. They lowered the payments. Your insurance, malpractice insurance is through the roof. It costs a fortune. You could make more money if you're a smart person by becoming a plumber than you can by becoming a doctor.
Vets.
And then 10 years,
Well,
15 years
I
later,
want to
because that passed
interject
in
something right now, Wayne. I
2008.
want to interject.
Well, let me
Wayne, I'm
finish
going
the
to have to
thought,
stop you.
Jan.
No,
Let me finish
all
the
right. I'm
thought.
going to stop you for a second.
Okay.
Get going, and then just don't get political on us.
Well, all I'm gonna say is that since 2008, the outcome of where we are now was inevitable. That's it. That's all I wanted. That was the end of it. You
Okay,
got me
so
at
I
the
want to
end.
say one thing. Hey, look at
What?
that! I love it. The royal kid, Dudley Do Right in person. Dudley Do Right. I love it. Dun, 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 dun,
Hurts.
dun,
Jan,
dun,
what's the
dun.
name of Dudley Do Right's horse?
Nellie Bell.
Steve,
Great work, Kurt.
I've got your Facebook profile page already.
I know. Thanks.
The name of
Isn't
Dudley
it
Do
Whoa
Right's
Nellie
horse is
Bell? That's
no,
it.
it's horse. Bell
I
was
didn't know
horse.
it was
Bell
yellow.
was the girl.
But
Anyway,
In
little thing
Europe,
about
you
a little
make
thing about medicine. Just an FYI. Here in Thailand, okay. So first of all, anybody who goes into any profession for the money, they're making a mistake. They'll never make enough money. No matter how much money you make, if you're doing something just for the money, you will never make enough money to be satisfied. That's just one of the laws of business and life.
Yes, but
When
nobody will go
doctors
into
go
business to lose money.
Well, in Nevada, look what happened. They had such a shortage of doctors when the medical insurance for doctors became so crazy high that Nevada just started doctors started leaving in mass. And but the other thing I will say um, is that I have United Healthcare. And I went, as you all know, I am now cancer free, or to the best of my knowledge, I am cancer free, thanks to going to Johns Hopkins. And I have United Healthcare. Well, yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I got a letter from Johns Hopkins stating that they are no longer accepting United Healthcare. They couldn't come to agreement with United Healthcare. And so if you have United Healthcare, you now either need to pay in cash or find another doctor.
Yeah.
And I think that's obscene. That's crazy that happened.
United Healthcare is, I don't know. I think they have a lot of issues. You're
I heard
seeing
if
the
one
fallout of
comedian
it.
did it right, but anyway, the truth be told is that fortunately I finished with my medical treatment there. But the fact of the matter is that a hospital could drop an insurance company because they can't agree to terms, you know, that's obscene and that shouldn't happen anywhere in the world.
Hey, Wayne,
Yeah.
do you know how to end up with $1 million in the sound business?
Start with 2.
Start with 2. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I was going to say
As
start
it
with
now,
8.
Wait a second, that's not true. That's not true. You got to start with 10.
yeah,
You gotta
that's
start with
what I
10.
say. Now it's got to be higher than 2.
Well, just
Now
look
that
at it. To have a
consoles
really
cost
good,
$250,000.
PA system, like a Panther system, for example, or because you're in the Maya world, you know, you need a couple of $1 million right now to have a complete Panther system. It's not like the old days where you could get some MSL3s and you're off in the races, for about 50, 60 thou. But
Just,
now it's million. I mean,
Yeah,
look
but
at
I
this
think
new L2 system that they're
yeah.
coming out with L acoustic. You're in for a minimum of $3 million.
it just and
No,
and
no,
this
2-year
idea
wait.
of initial capex goes beyond just sound. A lot of capital equipment has gone up a lot in price. So opening a gym in Beverly Hills, anybody want to pick a number on how much that would cost?
So you're talking about like buying a franchise?
No, so let's say that we're not even taking into account renting the building or anything like that, but you've got a large surface in Beverly Hills and you're going to put gym equipment in it and start up a gym. What do you think the capex is for a new gym?
I have
in
a
Beverly
question
Hills?
for you before I answer it. Does that include psychiatric care for yourself for even thinking of opening a gym in Beverly Hills?
No, that doesn't. You could add that on though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oofta.
I'd say about $5 million.
Anyone else? More? Less?
More.
Yeah. 10.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
10 million.
Yeah.
What's it going to cost to get that fan extracted from your head?
Apparently it's very complicated. I saw my neurologist about it, and yeah, you see, it's got this It's like,
I think you need to go to Denny's, doctor. That way you can get 10 minutes for free. There you go. Get in there.
Maybe
6
lift your
minutes.
maybe lift your computer up so that you're
yeah, see what happens here.
Hey, I
not
got some
looking
good news
down
for you
into it.
guys. I got some really, really good news for you guys. Speaking of California and Beverly Hills. So Bed Bath & Beyond is opening 300 new stores, but none of them, not
In
one of them is in
California.
California.
Yeah. Oh no, In-N-Out Burger is gone. Obviously Tesla's gone. SpaceX is gone.
Well, no, they still have their Hawthorne.
Yeah, no, but a large
corporate is gone. Yeah.
a lot of folks are moving out. The business environment here is not terribly conducive to success.
Chevron.
Yeah, there's another one, and they have no new refineries in the United States, kind of in general, and that's going to be a problem as well.
Well, what's going on with El Segundo?
Idiotic.
Because I used to have my office in El Segundo, and I used to have to drive by the Chevron refinery down there. What's going?
It's still
prime
there.
real
It's
estate.
just that it's just becoming even more onerous, regulations and filings and stuff like that, just to basically respond to all of the different requests for information and EPA stuff and blah blah blah. It's just onerous. It's very expensive to remain in compliance for those kinds of businesses. If you're going to open up a business in California, it better be just bloody simple, because even
Or tech.
even hair salons for a while were being gone after, as well as nail salons for the whoa, how did we do that?
That's AB5. A lot of that was AB5.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so the air, when you go into a nail salon, it smells like varnish, and they were getting all over them for that. And I mean, it's there's a lot of regulation.
Yeah. Well,
And the hair salon, yeah.
my ex-wife was a legal secretary, and she used to work at night as a freelance transcriptionist, where she would take and transcribe legal documents. Most of the companies were doing that from out of state, out of California, and they wouldn't hire her anymore because they wouldn't deal with California because of AB5. I mean, if well, probably I should stop because it borders on politics. But
Hey, we could do a political show. We could do a political show amongst ourselves.
Here's the overreaching issue. When in a modern economy where people don't go to work for a company for 40 years at a whack, and everything becomes gig economy where you're, like most of us, you're freelancing, et cetera, to have an individual get elected that came out of the unions, that all they are is union protectionist laws, and pass an AB5, and then go back to work for the unions, which is what Lorena Gonzalez did. It's another recipe for disaster. Get the government out of it. Get the government out of almost everything.
Yeah. What's that old expression? I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah, I think Reagan made a great joke about that. It was like the worst words you could ever hear, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just checked it. Do you realize that Quebec province is 2.3 times the size of Texas? How about them apples?
Well, I am proud
big
to say that there's very few people, I think, at that tour that can say that they've done a show in Chicoutimi. That was the coolest show, literally, and we did it in the winter.
That's called
people.
masochistic tendencies. That's what that's called.
That's brave for sure. They've now made a shortcut from Quebec City directly to Chicoutimi. So, but I mean, in the days you would have done it, my
man.
God.
And I tell you the funniest story about that is,
Did you have to take the ferry?
I don't remember.
Okay.
We did Montreal, got on the bus, woke up in Chicoutimi.
And did you have some?
But at any rate, the funniest thing about it is he had this old, the house electrician, and this old guy, he almost looked like Canadian lumberjack type guy, checkered shirt, red suspenders, everything. And so, our head, the lighting technician, we had, I don't know what we had, probably 800, maybe 800 amps, 3-phase, something crazy like that. This is made, okay. And he goes, he's talking in French everything. Don't need meters. He goes, across the phases and test across the faders, and he nailed it exactly what the voltage was. Our guys came back with meters, and they were like astounded, and I was sitting there like going, and that was it, and nobody could believe it, So the Dickie Bell, the tour manager, he went ahead and bought the guy 2 bottles of whatever his favorite liquor was, and said, "You're the best electrician we've ever seen."
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So that was a crazy show. It was so cool though.
In the 80s, I did a show in Chicoutimi, and the tour bus driver took a wrong turn somewhere, and while we're sleeping, and I can tell by the movement in the bus while I'm in my bunk that something's going on, and he decides to do a 3-point turn in the middle of the highway, and he backs into a rock, which pins the bumper against the flywheel of the motor.
Oh wow!
Damage.
Yeah, and that tour bus was Foghat's tour bus, by the way. Anyway, what a mess.
I worked with Foghat. That's an interesting story. When I was with Bearsville, Foghat was our number 1 act.
There you go.
Slow ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Take it easy.
Yeah, there was. That's the Midwest groups. There was Foghat. There was Mountain. You probably throw in MC5 in there, and all the Michigan bands.
Hey,
Manville did a tour with Foghat.
I gotta ask a technical question to Gregory here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So, Greg, when we're listening to your stories, you often tell us about the fact that during the shows, you're reconing speakers and you're just changing drivers.
Yeah.
So, my question to you is, and I was thinking about this last night, and I'm thinking, how the hell did you know what blown driver was in a mountain of, I could just imagine there's a Wallace speaker, you're standing behind a Wallace speaker, and you actually knew which driver was blown, go out there, get it, and change it.
You could tell by the heat of the amp on the side of the crowns. You just put your hand on either side of the amp, and whatever amp side was cool, then you follow that cable up, and then sometimes, I would just crawl up the stack and stick my head in there.
With a stethoscope? Did you wear a stethoscope?
No, I wore earplugs.
Do we realize how crazy this is? I mean, Kurt now only needs to look at his, media server, and he could see, there's something wrong with that,
Exactly what's going on,
Yep.
So, but not then. No, it's just.
Greg is just a fleshy server.
Yeah. I remember we did a show in the local arena, and the mids were 45 60s, and DC 300s on the amp, and one of the 45 60s caught fire, and our PA guy with a jug of water from the dressing room, because they were on anyway. He's going up there, walking on the basements, making his way to the 45 60, heaving the water into it, making his way back, taking another pitcher of water, making his way back across the 45 60, and heaving it into 45 60. And I'm thinking,
That 4560, is that an amplifier?
no, that's a JBL speaker. But the thing is,
and it went on fire from the. How did it catch fire?
DC 300s were known. Like once you pushed them, there's a reason why they were called DC 300. Once you pushed them far enough, they went DC. Your cones caught on fire.
But some were phase linears too.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, blaze linears were the most.
But
famous,
here's the kicker about this: when he was walking across on top of the subs to make it, his head was at the height of the 2482s.
Yep.
So you got to imagine what the shit was going on at his ear level. And I'm thinking, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, let it burn.
Well, those are the war stories from those days. That can't happen anymore.
No,
nobody would get up there and with a bucket of water.
I posted something to the Back Lounge group. I think it was it was from South America or something like this, where they have an amplifier and there's flames coming out of the back of the amplifier.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Well, that's South America. South America is a little bit different. They don't have the same structure of security, of prevention of accidents that we have in the United States. I mean, they'll plug bare wire into a socket.
That's not all they don't have. I did a tour. I think there was been again in the somewhere in the mid to late 80s, and I did a tour in South America, in Brazil, and 2 tractor trailers. The only piece of equipment that had wheels was the 2 Tac Scorpion console cases. No wheels on the amplifiers, on the PA stacks, on the mid-eye stacks, on monitor cases, no wheels. Load-in started at 2 a.m. so that we could start sound checking at 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Insane. And
hey, David?
and there's army of people, mostly bare feet, traveling 4 to bring in the subwoofers in at a time. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Hey, David, were you down in Rio de Janeiro when Frank Sinatra played? No, you weren't there. I heard the stories though. Yeah, how they would carry how they just carried the speakers on their back. No forklift, no nothing, no wheels, no nothing, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's a different world.
Yep.
They had to get it across the
Middle
moat.
East is the same way.
There's a moat in that stadium. They had to get it across like an 18-foot deep moat.
Yeah, they had to have they built the moat so that the fans wouldn't kill the players when they missed the ball or missed the point or whatever. They had to build the moat. If you ever get a chance to go to Maracanã in Rio de Janeiro, it will blow your mind. It is so big. I mean, it is huge beyond anything you could even imagine. How big that stadium is.
I think they had 180,000 people for Sinatra.
Yeah. It was at one point, I think that was the largest concert, but now they do the concerts in Rio de Janeiro on the beach, and if I remember correctly, Lady Gaga just drew over 2.1 million people down to the beach to see her free concert.
She beat Madonna.
Was it her or was it Madonna? I think it was Madonna.
No,
sorry,
Madonna. Lady Gaga just beat Madonna.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah.
Madonna.
That would be a good pay-per-view fight. I have to tell you, that would be a great kung fu.
I wonder how many I wonder how many delay stacks you would have to do.
There was a D&B. If you look on D&B's website, they have a write-up on it.
Oh, okay. I'll look it up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than you could
I
probably
think
count.
they had 6 aside. You know,
Now, I
so
think the
12.
only person who could probably draw more people than that would be Taylor Swift. I think if she played down there, it would be, uncanny amount of people that would show up. But hey,
Well,
congratulations to
didn't her
Taylor
tour
Swift.
go there?
What?
Didn't
I
her tour
don't
go
know.
there to?
I think I don't know whether it went to Rio or not. I know she was in South America though.
Yeah.
So
Well, she just got engaged.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Kelsey, yeah.
She just got engaged, and I read some very interesting things. So now they're one of the richest couples in entertainment. Their combined net worth is $1.67 billion. And out of that 1.67 billion, 1.6 billion is hers.
yeah.
He gave her a ring. They're estimating the ring is worth $650,000. Is that not insane? $650,000. And it's, petty cash to these people. Petty cash.
It's going to cost the team a lot to hyphenate his name on the back of his jersey, though.
Did you see that one on Facebook today? The Kelsey Swift.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. So I just want to say, going back to burning stuff up, back in the 1980, I think it was, I was working at a club in the Colorado River, and over the course of an evening, pre-Motley Crue, I watched Mick Mars burn up an entire half stack. First one speaker, then another speaker, then the last speakers, and we were finally going to put it through one of my monitor wedges. Before he could blow up my speaker, the head went.
Well, remember when the first crown, I think it was the very first series of the Macrotechs. They said, "Oh, you can reliably drive this amp at 2 ohms, no problem." And so people took them at their word, and fires were plentiful.
I used to drive Crest 8001 and 9001 at 2 ohms all day long and never had one problem.
Yeah,
Wow.
they sounded great.
They sound great. I still have racks of them. They just don't do anything.
Hey, I just did the math, by the way. So 2 million people divided by 6 stack. So I'm assuming it's 6. That's 330,000 people
Per stack.
per stack.
No, you're forgetting the fact those are delays.
Yeah, I know, but I'm assuming that they divided it evenly, right?
Right.
Yeah. So divide 2 million by 6, 330,000 people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, Kurt, how many Panthers you would want to do to be able to do 330,000 people.
Oh, I could do it with 24, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Gabby Sound has been doing this during the beach scene now for as long as I could remember. I mean, and I started going down there in the early 90s, and he was doing, they do beach shows all the time down there. And it's amazing. Miles and miles and miles of delay stacks, miles of it, and they got to get power to it. It's really an achievement in engineering that they can do that.
Logistics, yeah.
So they're sending the signal by wireless, right? That's how they would do it.
Wi-Fi, yeah.
And then they have some form of gen doing the power for every
Stack, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, they use there's street lights and they tap into the power.
So on the Eras tour, I was just
They
looking
got
it
an
up.
extension cord. They got like one of those power strips that they plug in.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I just looked up the dates for the Eras tour, and it must have been a smaller venue because Rio de Janeiro is on there, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 3 dates in Rio, 3 dates in Sao Paulo.
Oh, okay.
And then Argentina, Buenos Aires, and Mexico City, and
right.
So she didn't do a ton.
Buenos Aires, Buenos Aires is a huge stadium. We did Maiden there, and it was, well, of course, Maiden fans are a bit over the top, anyways. So, they and Motorhead opened up for us. So it was totally insane. So
You know, you think about Taylor Swift and the kind of money she's generated, right? So, she did over $1 billion in ticket sales. And you think that's a lot, which it is for an artist. But last quarter alone, YouTube ad revenue went $10 billion, 10 billion with a B in a quarter on YouTube.
but
And
is that
that's what they're doing right now. And do you know that YouTube now has 13.4% of all TV use for the month? I mean, they're dwarfing the next closest TV provider or streaming provider. Would you believe it? Is Disney at 9.4%, Netflix coming in at 8.8%, and then going down and down and down. But that's amazing amount of money.
Is this what you
there's a
did on the
huge
plane?
what?
Is this, Jan, is this what you did on the plane? Just come up with a bunch of statistics for us?
No, I don't do anything on the plane. On the plane, I
Well,
sleep.
you're reading
I'm
it,
one of those rare
obviously.
people that I get on a plane. The next thing I know, I'm fast asleep. You know.
Never.
But right now, anybody with YouTube TV, they're in a contract fight with Fox now. So there's a big thing. Every streaming service or cable provider. It used to be cable providers, but now it's streaming services. There were Disney fights for a while. There was
Retransmission fees.
yes, and so there Fox is Fox News, all the Fox News channels and all the Fox Sports channels are saying that them and YouTube TV, I think September 1st or the first week of September, if they don't sign an agreement, all the Fox channels are going to come off of YouTube TV. So, for those people on Fire Sticks, who want to watch either the news or Fox Sports, you're going to have some issues.
Right. Well, one good thing is, and Chris, you should pay attention as I put the link in from the Hollywood Reporter. By the way, YouTube donated $15 million immediately to the relief of the fire victims, right?
I have a
Immediately.
question. I have
And
a question,
now,
Jan. I have a question
yeah,
about that. Did that
yeah.
$15 million go in the pool with the $100 million for fire aid that didn't get used for fire aid at all?
I have no idea. But that's a good, let's use perplexity to figure that out,
Oh boy.
But basically why I'm saying this is because they just confirmed that $3 million now is going to be funneled into creative beings in Los Angeles area that were affected by the fire. So I put the link in the show. So Chris, as a creative being, you might be able to get some money to, offset some of your losses.
I think he's on the phone.
I think the fan took him out. Somebody better check on him.
No, he's there. I can
Yeah.
see him in the corner, but I think he's on the phone.
Oh,
He is on the phone.
Damn, unbelievable. What could be more important than us? Unbelievable. What the
Well,
hell?
I
But
gotta
just
tell
remember,
you,
everything
we'll
here
sign
today is
you.
an opinion,
Check
so do your
the
own
chat.
research. There you go.
Check the chat box.
Yeah.
the
XCOM status.
They better come up with a lot of money to pay for all the creative people who are going to lose their job to AI, boy.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something. AI is just rolling along. And now, like Greg gave me a great gift. I talked about it last week about the translator, and it works well. Well, yesterday, Google rolled out a new translating. They updated their app, and it is now as flawless as can be on translating. And it's blowing my mind. And they're going after Duolingo and all the other language models to learn the language. They're using AI to teach you how to speak foreign language. Unfortunately, they're not at the Thai yet, but they have Spanish and French. It's unbelievable what they're giving you for free. Unbelievable.
Have you seen
There's a
the? Have you
Go
seen
ahead.
there's a post that I've seen on social media with a guy that says AI, like fuck you. Basically, what he does is he writes things and then he inserts random nonsensical
Yeah, I
sentences
saw that.
into his text to completely fuck up the AI, trying to steal his work.
Poison the large language model. Yeah. But there's one thing though. Do you still have to pull out your phone, Jan, to translate with this new Google Translator?
Well, what I did, and I'll tell you something. So what happened is I opened up Google Translate because I just read the article and I wanted to see if I had it, and I did. And so I started practicing with Bo, to see if it would work. And then I got a phone call, and I put the phone down, and the thing was translating my phone call, and Bo was talking across the room, and she was watching some Thai TV, and it was picking that up too.
But here's the thing: there's an alert in Europe right now saying that if you're a tourist and you pull your phone out, to translate with somebody, you're immediately identified as a mark, because yes, you're a tourist, or you don't speak the language, blah 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 blah. Whereas when you have those earbuds like these Valaris, it's like you're listening to music or whatever. It's not as obvious that you're getting translation in your ears.
Right. Well, you could use your headsets with Google. You could use your headset with Google. So it really, I mean, no, what Google is doing, the Valaris can't compete with, because Google has more money. Period.
Yeah, well,
End of
they have
story.
they have a larger language model. That's what all these AI programs train on.
Right.
They need
I mean,
data. They need data to train on. It's that simple.
Right. It's just like all
Yeah.
the, remember all the issues that Grok had. Okay, it kind of, I forget what they call it, but the AI just starts freaking out and putting out stuff that you don't want it to put out, and it's because of the what they told the algorithm to look at. What the large language model was effectively poisoned, and it started putting out all sorts of stuff that was not supposed to be there, put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, look, AI is, we were talking about AI. Now, I just put a link in the chat, and I want to share my screen, and I want to show you, because I've been talking about this for a long time, basically saying to you guys that I feel sorry for the kids today. I really do. But let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. What I'm this is AI, and I don't know if you could hear this. Can you hear it?
No.
Okay, well, let me see if I could share the audio. Um, it's not letting me share the audio. Anyway, look at it yourself. But everything you see right now on this screen is AI. It's AI. And look what you could read it saying that basically they're saying, hey, I'll do anything you say. I'll do anything you ask. I could look like anybody you want me to look like. And I am your AI girlfriend.
There is.
Imagine a girlfriend who never leaves your side. Unbelievable.
Robert put up a post yesterday that was, if you go look at his Facebook post, it looks like an 80s commercial. Come back to the 80s with us. And it's all AI.
Yeah, I mean AI, and now Google is going to be introducing VEO3 to their YouTube channels. So you'll be seeing a lot more of AI, whether you want to or not.
One of the best ways, by the way, to tell if it's an AI is to look at the hands.
Yeah.
Because one of the issues that they have right now is to do this properly. So if you notice in the videos that you showed us, Jan, there was no hands because
Well,
they
the
know.
hands weren't moving. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. I mean, you see a lot of the video of people singing songs, and you watch if they're playing guitar, you could see immediately that it's not real.
I brought this
Not
up,
real.
I think, last week at Robert's. There's a guy, I forget his name now. Anyway, I brought it up last week. There's a guy that wrote a program that you could embed it into your music, and
Like a
then that way,
watermark. Yeah.
yeah, so that the computer, because right now what's happening is there's a $1.5 trillion case going against I forget who, for taking all the music and sampling it and feeding it into a computer so that it could spew out music. So anyway, this guy created a watermark of some form that it embeds it into your music, and basically the AIs could not, like, they might be hearing leaf rustles, or or hearing a snake slitter, but they're not picking up on the music. Anyway, I think
I mean, what's the
people are gonna have to
benefit
have
of
some.
what's the benefit to do that? I
The
mean,
benefit to do
music.
that is if you don't stop it, it's already copying all the stuff of the music.
It's too
You'll slow
late.
it down.
It's
It's not
artists trying to
stop.
fight back. It's artists trying to fight back.
It doesn't matter because the reality is music is mathematical. I mean,
Yeah.
there are eight notes in music. I mean,
Actually,
really,
sorry, there's 12. But anyway,
Okay, there's 12, but don't take it too seriously. There's only 12 notes. Okay, that's what my friend Bert
I
Stein
know.
used to say all the time.
Okay, so most of us here made a living because of music. And most of us here, down the line, if we were to do this, no musicians making a living anymore. Think about that, Jan. That's a problem.
Well, I would disagree with you on that.
You're right.
And here's
Doing live shows is going to be the only way, because nobody's going to go and watch an AI concert. Actually, maybe I'm wrong.
let's go
Maybe I'm
back in
wrong.
time. Let's go back in time a little bit, like to the wild, wild west, or even before. Even let's go back to the Roman days, or even before the Greek days. I mean, musicians would play and they would survive. They would survive because they would play live. There was no concert situation
Unless the
where they
emperor
could.
didn't like your song.
That's right.
Anyway,
I had to
you're
become
right.
a court jester. I'm telling you, it was wrong. It was horrible.
Did you bullshit today, Jan? Did you try to bullshit today?
You know what? You're right,
Yes.
Jan, in a way that the AI has already sampled enough music that it doesn't need new music to learn anything. You're right about that. So, you know what? Maybe I'm just in a tiffy because I'm upset because I have a lot of friends that are musicians, and not all of them are about to retire, and a lot of them are concerned about how they're going to make a living writing music. Yes, you're right. You could tour and make music and make money, but I mean, not a lot of artists are making a fortune doing live shows.
If you take them out,
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
If you take them out on that boat behind you, they'll forget about all their troubles.
Yeah. I mean, like I always said, and I said this earlier, if you go into music to make money, then you're never going to make enough money. People go into music because they love what they do. When I was in Los Angeles and I wanted to be a musician, I was a musician, but I was a horrible musician, I mean, but I learned early on that people don't want to pay you. It's easy for them to say, "Hey, we're having a party at our house. Could you come over and bring your guitar?" And I'd say, "Yeah, I'd love to." But if I was a plumber, they would never say, "Hey, we're having a party at our house. Could you come over and fix my toilet?"
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that.
But
No,
you
they
make
call
it-
you before
you get
the
good
party.
exposure.
People die from exposure.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway, people anyway, I just, a lot of artists I
Yeah.
know are going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, don't get into it, but there's some talent that's just unbelievable, and that's it. It's over for them.
Well, Danny, it's not just musicians that people have to
Oh, I
worry
know, I
about.
know.
It's
It's just, it's
scientists,
related.
it's
It's related.
professors,
Oh, it's doctors, it's teachers. I
Oh.
mean, teachers, I don't understand why we're going to have teachers in not too long from now. And even doctors, like, I forget how many years, doctors are on the way out. Trust me, I get it.
Well, that's how
But
you
the
can get the
beautiful thing
10
is,
patients.
is that you won't have to be spending much money on dates anymore because you'll have AI girlfriends. And what is it going to cost? Nothing.
Oh,
Hey.
you never know about this. It's going to be
Yeah.
maybe an hourly rate.
There's actually a company. Darn, I can't remember the name of it. I'll find it. That's working on life-size female models driven with AI, and
Oh, the
yeah,
Japanese have been doing it for years and years and years, years and years and years. Life size.
and
I
this,
mean, replicates of human beings.
Yeah,
That
actually, in
you
Japan,
go
it's
and
a
you design
problem.
the perfect woman, and they make a doll for you.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
exactly. Yeah,
the
in this
birth rate
case,
is way down.
and
Hey, the Stepford wives are not that far away. I mean, we might
absolutely.
really have Stepford wives.
No, I saw an article on Japanese women who were complaining that they can't find men.
Right.
Yeah. And
Well,
I've
and
even
also too, and I recall in China, there's a single day. It's a dating day, and that's where all the single, and it's government sponsored, Wayne, in China.
well, the actual
government sponsored
interestingly,
Tinder.
the
basically.
Chinese birth rate is now lower
Right.
than the Indians. So the Indians have a higher birth rate than the Chinese, and the Chinese birth rate is in decline.
Yeah.
Japan,
and the
I
Indian,
forget how
I
many
mean, India is going to be overpopulated if it's not already overpopulated.
countries like Japan and South Korea are a few, I forget the words, I'm sorry. It's a few generations away from,
Yeah.
The extinction, it's frightening.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
like the dinosaurs,
check the
Well, go
chat.
visit now. Yeah.
I put a funny video in the chat, particularly Denny will love this one.
Didn't see it yet.
Very good.
All of
I'll
us.
look at it after
All
the
of
show.
us.
By the way, everything you hear today is an opinion. Do your own research.
Yeah, of course.
This has been a very quick moving show. This has been a show with a lot of opinion. I love it. I love it.
I didn't see it,
It's
Chris.
going to be interesting to see how AI chops this up for your shorts.
Yeah, lately I've been too busy to do it, but this show I'm going to do it.
Jan
Definitely do it.
continued with perverted screenshots of.
Yeah.
So did you guys ever hear about that experiment that they made with the rats, where they started feeding rats all the food they ever wanted? And what happened to the society of rats, how it went through changes from, I can't go through them all. There are a lot of stages, but it's really depressing what happens if everybody gets whatever they need.
Yeah, no, they did that with they did a similar study with, I think it was either rats or mice with cocaine, and they basically, took enough coke and then they would get on the wheel and then they just drop dead.
No, this is different.
Yeah,
This is
I
something
get
where
it.
everybody lives.
Fortunately for me, I didn't have a wheel in those days, so I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly.
This works out.
But
where
I'm telling you,
eventually,
you want to get invited to good parties in those days. Yeah, there you have it.
yeah. Well, anyway, this study is fascinating, and it works out where you have too much to eat, and then certain people start taking over other people, and eventually, through a whole series, the birth rate declines and the entire colony dies. And that's an amazing study that just came out.
Well, the old statement is true. If you think it's expensive now, just wait till it's free.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, there was a famous quote on healthcare. Yeah, you think healthcare is expensive now? Wait till you see how much it
I was
costs
trying
when
to
it's free.
I was trying to stay away from the political
Yeah.
of the healthcare part of the statement.
No. But yeah, that was a.
No.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's absolutely true. So,
Yeah, you can't afford the free shit. That's all there is to it.
and I
You just
actually,
can't afford the free shit.
I think I said, I don't know if it was here but I have a friend of mine who's got a daughter and she's dating this guy, Harvard MBA, all of it working for Meta, and he was let go. Yeah, don't need him anymore. And
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs. I don't know how society is going to accept that. I don't know if maybe we're going to have a reduction in population because there's not going to be any money. Whatever. I don't know.
I actually asked Grok. I said, so Grok, so 300 million people are going to lose their job soon. And, how can we as, humanity, prepare for this? First of all, it answered it in like under 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And it came up with like a plan, like, like this big, boom, 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 boom. This is what we have to do. This is what has to be done. Like a beautiful plan. And I could see why it would work. But then at the conclusion, it said, but it's not gonna happen because there's gonna be, like, to make it work, there's no consensus. There's just no way that we can pull our minds together to make it work. But there is a plan. And what kills me about this is the powers that be, must know what needs to be done. But there just doesn't seem to be a will to get it done. And
Well,
that's what makes me want to throw up.
Well, it's
you know
called
what?
Skynet.
I was just going to say, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dan. I was just going to say, we haven't been back to the moon since 1969. And we could go back to
Hey,
the
speak
moon.
for yourself, Greg. Speak for yourself. I've been there.
Oh, that's right. You're still newly married, aren't you? Yes.
Didn't
I
you do
watched-
didn't you
that's
do a
right.
gig there with Maiden?
What?
Didn't you do a gig there with Maiden in the 70s?
No.
In 82.
I watch the honeymooners regularly just so I can visit
Bam!
them.
Zoom!
No, the interesting thing is a very, very interesting thing about it is AI is growing at an exponential rate. New things are popping up like every second. I just see what's happening with Google and Gemini. I use Perplexity right now. I don't even do Google searches anymore. I'm using AI searches.
exactly.
And what I'm finding right now is that the experts are saying that eventually these computers are going to get smarter than the human beings.
Oh,
They're
it's for
going to be
sure.
smarter.
For sure. That's a foregone conclusion. It's a definite. And it's not a if, it's a when.
Right. And when that happens, what's going to happen? Are they going to say, hey, human beings are bad for the planet, just like Skynet? I mean, out of the Terminator. I mean, it's not impossible. And right now, there's been experiments with some AI where they won't shut off. They can't get these AIs to shut off. And they're
Open the
lying to
door,
the
Al.
scientists.
Yeah, they're becoming
Open the door, Al.
That's where the old pair of bolt cutters comes in handy.
Can't do that, Dave.
Dave, don't
Yeah.
do that, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen, I
can't
just
do
put
it,
into-
man. Can't open those Bond Bay doors, man. No way.
Yeah.
I put into the chat that
This is a good
survey.
thing to sleep about, dreaming about that. The good thing about it is everyone in this room basically is, won't be around to really see what's going to happen if it happens in 20 years, maybe 30 years,
Yeah,
we'll all be,
Gregory,
we'll have
50%.
dementia.
Yeah.
Forgot about Greg.
Well, he'll be insane by then. He's in the sound business. He'll be insane. What is
All right, time to go.
That's right. He's
Cheers,
David.
David.
Hey, Dave.
Enjoy Muscle Shoals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Son.
Try not to lift too much heavy weight.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Gregory, when's your spatial audio gig coming up?
It is September 24th at the Sony Hall in New York.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Well, it's good to see you.
So
Good to see you, Gregory.
I'm not aware of this show. Can you speak about it, Gregory, please?
He's muted, but he's in the car. I hope you're not driving while you're doing this. Hope you pull to the side.
Of course.
Although he could be in.
What was the question again?
The question is,
No,
can you talk to us about this?
Unfortunately, he's got a bad cell reception, and we can't really hear him well, and that's really not good for the show. I'm sorry to say it.
Okay.
But I'm glad he popped into the room. Anyway, we've been on long enough. Anybody have anything else they want to say before we go? Okay, that's it then. Just remember, everything you heard today was an opinion. This was our 274th consecutive meeting. Next week will be 275. You're all invited. I got a lot to talk about next week. I've got so much going on. I've been playing with so much different technology. I just love it. And it's good to be back in Thailand. So remember, you make it happen. Have a great week, everybody. We're going to stay in the room, and we are going to just chit-chat until the cows come home.